lignai, like a bad thing, to say that he's Oved Adama. That's his job. It's okay. If he would have done it right, it was good. It's not showing he didn't want to do, he wasn't interested. I mean, it's true he wasn't interested because of his own interest. But to be a, quote, Oved Adama is not a bad thing. That's your disposition in life. So if Yaakov Avinu, here's a question. Yaakov Avinu is a Yoshev Ohalim man. He sits and learns. How in the world is he spending 22 years, that's a chunk of your life, wow, in Lavan's house doing work? Where did he get over there? It's a very powerful question. So now we see. He was doing Esav's job. Once he took Esav's job, he had to go there and go start doing it. You see? And he had to work the land, and he had to be tested now with Chosh and Mishpat, thievery. Is he going to steal? Is he going to, things of that nature, which Esav was supposed to do. And he didn't do it. Now there's another interesting midrash. See, all these midrashim now fall into place with this idea. We say there's two sisters, right? Who's the two sisters? Rachel and Leah. Leah cried because her eyes was rakot, right? Watery or weak. Why was she crying?
She should have another child.
Very good. She was Esav's destined match. See, it was already set up. She's going to marry Esav, Rachel's going to marry Yaakov. Now, when Yaakov took Esav's job, he naturally will take Esav's wife. You see? So it shows it's not that Leah was destined for Esav. She was destined for the person who will do the job of Esav, whether it's Esav or somebody else. Once it became Yaakov, she'll marry that man. You see? And these are the areas of creation. Now we see what the matchups of the patriarchs and matriarchs are. Something bigger is going on here. Hashem's trying to get this world into a tikkun, and he's putting everyone in their place. And if someone botched up something, he put someone else there to go, like Yaakov. There's another midrash that says Esav and Yaakov were supposed to split the 12 tribes. Did you know that? 6 from Esav and 6 from Yaakov. That was the original destined plan.
Wow.
That's right. With Leah and Rachel.
Wow.
It was a perfect family. 4 for 4. Why should he have 3 for 4? Why such an uneven number?
Wow.
4 matriarchs, 4 mothers and 3 fathers. Why is it uneven? It's really not uneven. There's really 4 slots. It's just one man took 2 slots.
Wow.
Because of free will, and Esav had the free will to do that. So that's what happened. Now listen to this pasuk.
10 minutes.
This pasuk now. It says, Vayizkor Elokim et Rachel. Hashem remembered Rachel. Vashma Leah Elokim, and she gave him a baby, and she called him Yosef. Now look what Yaakov says. Yaakov says, Vayomer Yaakov el Lavan. Yaakov tells Lavan, Shalacheni, send me away. Ve'elecha, and I will go. El mikomi ulatzi, to my place and to my land. To my land? What do you mean to my place and to my land? Send me home to my land. Because look what he was saying. Once he saw, and Yaakov knows what's going on, he knows the score of everything. Once Yosef was born, he knew that Yosef is going to take over this Esav job now. I'm free. I can go back to my place in this tikkun process. Back into the Yoshev Ohalim. You see? Somehow he knew Yosef is going to take him over with that. Now it's not so simple. I mean, this is, not to get into too much. See, there's a pasuk that says, we need to know this pasuk. Let me just get it real quick. If I don't find it, we'll just move on. It's in the Haftarah that we read, and it says, it compares Esav to straw, and Yaakov and Yosef, to lehava, fire and flame, and the two of them will eat up the straw of Esav, which means like this. This is how this works, and this again the Ramchal explains. A person has to be born to have a type of Yetzer Hara for his job. Yaakov was born in his own way. He can't do Esav's job really, because he wasn't born with those ta'avot, he wasn't born with those natures and whatever it is to do that. Right, so So you can't do someone else's job. Someone has to be born into it. So Hashem can like mold him that way, you know, in his guts. He has to be that way. So that's why Yosef was the one who was tested with Potiphar's wife. Because to test Yaakov might not have mattered. You know, maybe it didn't mean much to him because it wasn't his ta'ava. So just to tell him, let me test you in Esav's type of a test,
wow.
It won't mean much because he's not built to want that so much, you see. So Hashem had to bring someone into the world who wants that, like Esav, and he'll pass the test, and he'll make the tikkun of it. So it comes out that Yaakov could only do part of Esav's job, and then Yosef will do the other part. So they're really 50-50, half. So it's Chatzi Yosef and Chatzi Yaakov doing the full and taking out the merit of Esav's job. That's why you need Yaakov and Yosef to take out Esav. Okay? That's what's going on. Now real quick, just to get to the end of Beresheit, with these last few minutes, now the whole Yosef story. Look what happens here. The brothers, all of a sudden, want to take out Yosef. What's going on here? So we see this is the story continuing. It's the whole thing's still continuing. Now Yosef is the one. He's supposed to fight evil and do everything like that. He did a few things that wasn't so kosher. You know, he was brushing his hair, which meant he was, you know, on his level, he was showing like he was into his looks or whatever it was, whatever on his level. And he spoke Lashon Hara because he told his father things that the other brothers were doing. So he was doing a few things he wasn't supposed to do. The brothers saw that, and they said, you know what they thought to themselves? The brothers, we're going to start to think that the brothers might have been right. You know, we always think, how could the brothers do that and sell Yosef? But what I'm going to show you now, we're going to actually think the brothers might have been right, and I'm going to have to explain to you why they were wrong. We're going to really think that they were right. Here's Yosef. He's doing a few things not right. So they said to themselves, we have another Esav on our hands. We better take care of this guy. Just like our father did. You know? And they weren't right. So why weren't they right? Because it says in the Pasuk, and only because the Pasuk would say, it says, Vaikan Ubo, they were jealous. They really were jealous. That was wrong of them. If they weren't jealous, they would have seen Yosef in the real light, because he really was a tzaddik. He wasn't an Esav. He just did a few sins. Okay, you know, people sin. Even David HaMelech, he did sins. I mean, Esav was a real, Yosef min haklal. But to think Yosef was like Esav, anyone with clear glasses would have seen that. But they had that jealousy.